A man named Gawain is shown at the start of the film. He is King Arthur's nephew, who was a famous king a long time ago. Now, this boy becomes a king too. After that, his head starts to glow like fire. Suddenly, his head looks all burnt up. Later, we see that a boy named Gawain is sleeping somewhere. A girl named Essel wakes him up, coming there. She sprinkles water on his face. As Gawain begins to go outside, waking up, then he falls down, then he begins to move to his fort. Here it is known that Essel likes Gawain. She is mediocre girl while Gawain belongs to a king's family. But they both don't care about it. Now Gawain moves to his fort, where his mother informs him about a meeting appearing there. Then Gawain directly goes to the king, who says to him, "Sit with me." Now king says to Gawain, "You have grown up. You have also the burden of responsibilities. I want to tell you that I may choose you as a king in future." Because king has great affections for Gawain, and he wanted him to have enough abilities that she may get the seat of a king. But Gawain himself knew what are his activities. He used to be intoxicated every time, and he was not a concentrated person. He used to spend most of his time with Essel, so he tells everything to King Arthur. Now Queen speaks here and says to Gawain, the soldiers or the members of the king's family who were still there, they have their past and they became successful moving ahead. The crux of her words was that, if we want, we may reach at a good place, leaving the bad deed. It means we may get our aims. So this happening is credible. We will have to just work hard for this. On the other side, Gawain's mother comes on the scene, who goes to an awkward place. There is going on sorcery. She writes a mysterious thing on the paper, then let it go in the air. That note is inflamed. Contrarily, King Arthur is seen who is addressing his subject. He is wishing them the day of Christmas. And he says, "I know that it is the outcome of your struggles, that we are a very calm nation." They feel satisfaction for this, hearing it. The celebration is going to start there. Suddenly a door opens there, and someone appears from there. His name was the Green Knight. All guards and the people there become alert there, glimpsing him, and they get ready to kill him. But the king says to the Green Knight, "Come and listen to me." Then Green Knight comes and hands him over a letter. And it is the same letter that had been burnt by Gawain's mother. Queen begins to read this letter, taking it. There is written in that letter that the soldier of this court will decapitate Green Knight. It will be like a game. After this, Green Knight will decapitate the same soldier. Then he says to King Arthur that it is the only way that I can leave your kingdom as such. If you want to accept this game challenge, tell me. Then King Arthur says, "I have not enough power, but I ask from my soldiers." Now King begins to ask from his soldiers, "Who is as such among you who will be able to accept this challenge?" No one is able to speak. Then Gawain speaks, "I will move ahead and accept it." Then Gawain asks the sword from them. Then King Arthur hands him over the sword, and he directly moves to Green Knight, taking it. Now Green Knight says to Gawain, kneeling down before him, "Behead me." Gawain immediately decapitates him. After this, Green Knight says, lifting his own head, "Have you remembered? I had said to you that we will meet again after 1 year. Then I will decapitate you." After it, Green Knight leaves, riding on his horse. Green Knight had left his axe there. All soldiers and king are inspired from Gawain as he leaves, and they applaud for him, that he took a bold action. He knows that Green Knight will come back to fight with him. In spite of this, he did not confuse. King takes his sword back from him, and the axe is saved left by Green Knight. Afterwards, all begin to praise Gawain too much. He becomes popular among the people and an ideal for the young kids. But it does not remain for a long time. Gawain is again indulged in bad activities. He begins to take alcoholic drink, and his gathering is also turned into previous one. But the people of this place still used to appreciate him, because he was the only one among them who belonged to the king's family. And he had also performed a great adventure, decapitating Green Knight. Then a man comes here and says to Gawain, "You are sitting here, do you know how evil your mother is? She performs the sorcery." Gawain is unable to tolerate it. He pushes his head backward. Then he beats him violently, falling him down. After this, he returns back to home. His mother leaves, glimpsing him. Now King Arthur starts to converse with Gawain, which were important, because that time had approached when Gawain's fight was going to be held with Green Knight. Then Green Knight had given his words that he will now decapitate him, and he had to go a green chapel for this purpose, about which King Arthur begins to explain him. But Gawain is scared here because he was worrying about his life. Then King Arthur explains to him, "My son, always remember it, no one can kill you until your time comes. If you will remain alive at that time until you are destined to live." He wishes him good fortune, cleaning his face. On the other side in the town, it is shown in the puppet show that Green Knight will decapitate Gawain, so Gawain is afraid for this. Here Gawain's mother is seen, who again goes to a ritual to perform the sorcery. There are also other women along with her. They read magical words on a piece of cloth, and they save it. Contrarily, Gawain is seen who meets with Essel. She tells him, "You will get the seat of king as you return back, and I will be your queen." But Gawain does not respond, because he was feeling fear as he may not be killed. When he goes to meet his mother, then she gives him the same piece of cloth on which she had read the magical words. And she says to her son Gawain, "You will remain safe until you keep it in your possession." After this, Gawain leaves on his horse to that place. At the beginning, some kids pursue him. Later, Gawain is left alone. He is noticing the strange things on the way, which are scaring him time and again. As there is a coffin having a skeleton of someone, there are also many dead bodies due to the war as he moves ahead. Gawain encounters a child who tells him that his all family met its end. Gawain asks him, "Can you lead me the way to Green Chapel?" That child guides him about the way and Gawain gifts him a coin. It is an abandoned forest. When Gawain moves ahead, then he glimpses a girl who pulls out her dagger, and many people surround Gawain with it. And that child also approaches. He takes that magical piece of cloth from him, and they all break all his things. They grab his sword and axe and also destroy his shield, the axe which belonged to Green Knight. And Gawain had a fight with him with it. That child says, "I have only liked the piece of cloth." They all leave that place, grabbing these things and tying up Gawain's hands. Gawain is unconscious, but he thinks as he is died. But it was his nightmare. He crawls to his sword as he restores his senses, and he unties his hand, cutting the string with sword. Now he begins to run from this forest. Night falls here, and forest is looking very horrible. He drink water from a pond, seeing it. There is a cottage near it where he moves inside. That cottage is old. He goes upstairs and falls asleep, seeing a bed there, because he was very tired. There is a girl before him as he wakes up, who is in white dress. Gawain asks him, "Who are you?" That girl tells, "It is my cottage." "Who are you?" So Gawain says to him, "Don't worry, I am just a traveler. I was deadly tired, so I came here for rest." Gawain asks her, "Can you explain to me where is the direction of Green Chapel? I have also lost the way." That girl comes to him. Gawain detects that she is a ghost, observing that girl walking style. She takes him to the pond which is at the below side, and she begins to tell him her past story. She tells, "There used to be a king who decapitated me. He killed me and threw my head in the same pond. You will have to bring my head out of this pond." Being coward, Gawain is feeling fear, and he knew that she is ghost. "I may be in danger if I don't carry out her order." He agrees, but he asks this ghost, "What will you reward me in its return?" That ghost begins to shout at him as being sentimental. So Gawain has to move. Now he goes into the water. He finds a skull in its depth. He lifts that skull. When he observes coming out the water, then he sees that ghost nowhere. There is seated a fox at that place. Gawain enters that cottage, but he does also not find that ghost in the cottage. There is that girl's skeleton on the bed when Gawain goes upstairs to see her. He is holding her head which had regenerated the skin, and it starts to speak. Green Knight is her familiar. It is turned into head skeleton. Then Gawain also keeps that skull with the skeleton on the bed. The morning arrives shortly after. Gawain notices his axe lying there, so he sets out, lifting it. Now he continues to walk, but his journey is not ending. He finds a cave. He sits, going inside the cave. Then he notices the same fox at the cave opening. Gawain is not understanding why is this fox chasing him in the whole journey. Then Gawain falls asleep here and Fox also sleeps with him. Gawain observes as the dawn breaks that Fox is still with him. Then he decides to start his next step of journey along with it. But the journey path is also too long today. He falls down after being tired. He is at such a palace when he wakes up. There were some mushrooms. Eating them, he quenches his little appetite. He also makes the fox eat the mushrooms. But these mushrooms were poisonous. Consequently, Gawain begins to vomit. And he begins to visualize something strange, in which he visualizes Green Knight. So Gawain falls asleep here. Next day, Fox and Gawain set out. Gawain notices the giant creatures in the opposite direction of the mountains while walking. He climbs up the mountain along with Fox, and he attempts to communicate with them, but they are not understanding his language. Then Gawain begins to move forward with his fox. The night falls here again. Gawain was very tired. He sees an ancient palace in front of him where a king used to live. But Gawain is knocked out reaching there, because he had been on a long journey. He had also not fed him up properly. He had weakened. In the next scene, Gawain sees after restoring his senses. He is perfectly alright. And the same king has also seated beside him. He tells him, "Don't worry. You are secure here. One more day is required for you where you are aiming to reach." That king says to him, "We know how you have defeated Green Knight." Then king also introduces Gawain with his queen who is exactly resembling Essel. They all dine together. Then queen says to Gawain, "Why do you not stay here for some days?" What was the need of Gawain? Gawain agrees. He begins to see some painting and books there. And the paintings are clearing the message that a man is chasing on the horse behind the fox. Then queen approaches there, and she makes Gawain visit the palace. And she shows him the different things which are very liked by Gawain. Then it is seen that the king hunts a deer for Gawain. They dine and start conversation, sitting together. They also talk about Green Knight. King asks Gawain, "Why are you searching for Green Knight? Why do you want to meet him?" Gawain wants to reveal everything to him. "I have rivalry with him, and I want to prove myself a best soldier." The king says, "Oh, it is the matter. I will also want to meet him." In the next scene, it is seen that Queen appears in the room of Gawain, and she utters the same sentence, giving a piece of cloth, "It will secure you." She also says to Gawain along with it, "You are not the best soldier." Gawain feels something wrong here, so he leaves that palace, lifting that axe and piece of cloth. Now Gawain runs to the forest. Then king also comes after him. He has a sack. He says to Gawain, "I have your belonging." There is the same fox when he unties the sack. Gawain is very excited. He passes his journey with the same fox. Going ahead, they glimpse a stream which has a boat. But the fox begins to speak which is with Gawain. That fox warns Gawain, "You will not survive if you go by this boat and meet Green Knight. Green Knight will kill you, so it is better for you to retrieve." Gawain declares, "I cannot get any harm until I have a piece of cloth given by my mother. Go away. You are diverting my focus." Now Fox leaves from there, and Gawain takes the same boat. He begins to sail ahead, crossing the stream. He notices a sign on a way across the stream. Seeing it, he gets off the boat, and he starts to move into a cave which is Green Chapel, the place where Gawain had to go, which was the Green Knight's dwelling. Green Knight is sleeping there. Gawain moves ahead with boldness, and he places his axe beside him. But Green Knight is not moving. He continues to sit at that place even the night falls. He passes the night while sitting, but Green Knight is not waking up. As the next morning arrives, then Green Knight wakes up, and he says to Gawain, "You came. Today is the Christmas day. It means that whole year has spent we met. Today is the day when I will be able to take my revenge." Then Green Knight says to Gawain, lifting and moving his axe towards him, "You eventually came here. You know what is going to happen here?" Gawain bravely says it, "Yes, I know." Then Green Knight says, "Kneel down." Gawain kneels down. Then Green Knight catches his axe without taking any pity. He is going to decapitate him. Then Gawain immediately runs from there. He comes to forest outside. Gawain's horse is also there and he begins to flee from riding on it. He wants to flee from here as soon as possible, because this prediction may prove true that Green Knight will behead him and he will be unable to survive. It was Gawain's struggle now that he may get off, reaching his palace, because he has returned Green Knight's axe to him. Now he had no worry. This prediction may fulfill or not. It means he had the chance to flee, because he had not the axe of Green Knight. His journey starts, and this journey is most perilous and full of fatigue. He has also fear that Green Knight is perhaps not chasing him. It is not as such. Many hindrances and issues are aroused on the way, but Gawain reaches the palace, facing them boldly. But there is a loss of it that he is weakened, reaching the palace, that he is not getting courage to walk properly. Gawain's mother treats him as he reaches there. Then it is shown that the same piece of cloth is still tied with the body of Gawain, which had been tied to him by his mother. It means that it proved true. Consequently, Gawain rescued. Here it is seen that Gawain gets excited, and he also meets Essel. Now it is seen in the last scene of the movie that King Arthur is in a bad health condition. He calls Gawain, and he says, "My time has approached. You have performed great tasks in your life." As Queen had also said that many people have embraced success while changing their past, and Gawain was one of them. But King Arthur says to him, giving his sword, "You are the king now on. I award you my seat." At last, Gawain is crowned here. Gawain and Essel get married, and a cute baby is begotten by them. But no one knows what happens to Gawain. He goes away, snatching the child from Essel, leaving everything. Essel is grieved. She does not understand why did he do this. In the next scene, the same girl Ghost, the white-dressed girl, she was also princess. Gawain marries that girl. Now they live together. It is also shown with it that a piece of cloth that Gawain has it always used to tie with his body, because Gawain knew that he has risk from that ghost and that place. In spite of this, he selects to stay here. Now the time continues to pass. His son is also in his possession, who has grown up adult. Now he also becomes a soldier. He fights many wars. In the same way, he is killed in a war. Gawain directly moves to his kingdom where he had been crowned. They all greet him and he also witnesses Essel there, hidden in the crowd. They don't talk with each other. After this, Gawain goes to Ghost Princess. There is Gawain's daughter. Here the daughter of Gawain is also grown up. But the tragic end of movie occurs as such. Wicked people occupy Gawain's palace. His wife and daughter leave him. Essel was also not with him and his son had also died. He is left alone among the enemies. Here Gawain separates that piece of cloth from his body, and his head falls down after detaching from his body. Suddenly, the scene turns here. These were all the hallucinations of Gawain. He was still sitting before Green Knight in the Green Chapel, kneeling down. When Green Knight was nearly to kill him, then Gawain knew that he has that piece of cloth, and he cannot get any harm. So he says to Green Knight, "Stop. I have decided. I will die." Green Knight is left astonished, hearing it, and he says, coming near him, "Gawain, you are very bold. I give you a title of Brave Knight. You are really a great soldier." The movie completes on this scene. In the end of the movie, the same girl is seen who is wearing the same crown, which was seen on Gawain's head in his vision. And this movie eventually completes here. It is wished that you will have liked the explanation. Thanks for watching.